Now we'll see the excretory system in earthworm. Okay. So now there are three type of excretory units in earthworm that is present in pharynx, which are integumentary and septal, present in septa. Okay. So pharyngeal nephridia are three pair of tufts in fourth, fifth and sixth segment. Okay. So they will be present in the fourth, fifth and sixth segment. Okay. Integumentary are attached to the lining of the body wall of segment 3 to the last that open on the body surface. Septal are present on both sides of intersegmental septa of segment 15 to the last that open into the intestine. Okay. So here in the excretory system you have to remember that nephridia are the excretory organs and three type of nephridia are present on earthworm. In earthworm. Okay. First is the pharyngeal, second is integumentary and third is the septal nephridia. Okay. Now what are the functions of these nephridia? These different types of nephridia are basically similar in structure. Okay. Nephridia regulate the volume and composition of the body fluids. A nephridium starts out as a funnel that collects excess fluid from the coelomic chamber. Okay. And the funnel collects with the tubular part of the nephridium, which delivers the waste through a pore to the surface in the body wall in the digestive tube. Okay. So in the excretory system, you have to remember that there are three types of nephridia. First is the pharyngeal, which is present in fourth, fifth and sixth segment. The second is integumentary, which is attached to the body wall. See here, you can see in the diagram. Body wall of segment 3 to last that open on the body surface, okay, and septal, which are present on both the sides of the intersegmental septa of segment 15 to the last that open into the intestine. Okay. Now, these different types of nephridia are basically similar in structures. Nephridia will regulate as they are doing the function of excretion, they will regulate the volume and composition of the body fluids. A nephridium starts out as a funnel, okay, that collect excess fluid from coelomic chamber. The funnel collects with the tubular part of nephridium, which delivers the waste through a pore to the surface of the body wall into the digestive tube. Okay. Now we come to the nervous system. The nervous system of earthworm is very simple. Okay. So all the activities of the earthworm are under the control of the nervous system. The nervous system is made of the anterior nerve ring and posterior nerve cord. Nervous system is basically represented by ganglion. Ganglion means group of neurons. Okay. Ganglia arranged segment wise on the ventral paired nerve cord. Okay. So nerve ring and nerve cord. The nerve cord in the anterior region, that is third and fourth segment, bifurcates laterally encircling the pharynx and joins the cerebral ganglia dorsally to form a nerve ring. Okay. Now the cerebral ganglia along with other nerves in the ring integrate sensory input as well as command muscular responses of the body. See here, you can see in the diagram here that here a ring like structure is formed and this is the nerve ring. Okay. This is formed where the cerebral ganglia are joined dorsally and they form a nerve ring. Okay. And other different ganglion are present. Now this nerve ring is acting as a brain. Now we come to the reproductive system. Now the male reproductive system consists of testes, sacs, seminal vesicle, spermatical funnel and vasa differentia. Okay. So testes, there are two pairs of testes, sacs in the 10th and the 11th segment. You have to remember it is present in 10th and 11th segment. Each sac encloses a testes and a spermatical funnel. Okay. Here you can see in the diagram. Spermatical funnel is present in testes, sac with testes is present. Okay, now when we come to the testes, these are two pairs of testes which are located in 10th and 11th segment. Okay, each testis arises from the anterior wall of each testis sac. Immature spermatozoa produced by the testes first enter testis sac and then make their way into the seminal vesicle, where they undergo further development to become mature sperms. Okay. So testes sac are two pairs present in 10th and 11th segment, and testes are two pairs which are present in 10th and 11th segment. Each testis arises from the anterior wall of each testis sac. Now when we are talking about the seminal vesicle, there are two pairs of seminal vesicle in 10th and 11th segment. Now spermideucal funnel is nothing but there are two pairs of spermideucal funnel, one in 10th and the other in 11th, and each spermideucal funnel leads into a fine tube, the vasa deferens. Now what is vasa deferentia? There are present two pairs of vasa deferentia. Each spermideucal funnel leads into a vasa deferens. Okay, vasa deferentia is a tube-like structure you can see in the diagram. The vasa deferentia of each side run very close to each other up to the 18th segment. In 18th segment, both the vasa deferentia of each side are joined to the prostate duct coming from the prostate gland. Two vasa deferentia ducts and one prostate duct of each side are enclosed in a common thick muscular sheath called the common prostate and spermatic duct. They open to the outside separately into the male genital pore. Okay. So when we are talking about the male reproductive system, see the diagram here is not clear, so you can take your textbook diagram. Okay, it is very difficult to put the diagram and the writing part say in the same slide. Okay. So you can take the diagram, you can study the diagram from your textbook, you can keep the diagram by your side, and you can see the basic function or all important. I have tried to include all the important point in the slide. Okay, and bifurcate each and every point. Okay, so testis sac is present, testes is present, seminal vesicle is present, spermideucal funnel and vasa deferentia are present in the male reproductive system. Okay, now we come to the glands. Okay, so there is a prostate gland, it is also present in human male. Okay, a pair of large prostate gland are present in earthworm. These glands are situated on either side of the intestine and extend from the 16 to 21 segment. They produce a secretion which serves as a medium for transfer of sperms. Okay, so a pair of large prostate gland are present in earthworm. These glands are situated on either side of the intestine and extend from the 16 to 21 segment. They produce a secretion which serves as a medium for transfer of sperms. Okay, now we come to the accessory glands. These are two pairs of whitish glandular masses situated internally in the 17th and 19th segment. The secretion of these glands is supposed to help in keeping the two worms close together during copulation. Okay, now we come to the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of ovaries, oviduct and the spermatheca. Okay, so ovaries are pair of white minute masses of ovaries attached to the posterior surface of the septum present between the 12th and 13th segments. They produce ova. Oviduct, there are two short tubes each lying immediately behind the respective ovary. The two ovarian tubes coverage to meet in the body wall and open to outside by a female genital pore on mid-ventral side of the 14th segment. The mature ova liberated by each ovary are received by the oviducts and are finally passed outside into the cocoon through a female genital aperture. Now, when we talk about the spermatheca, there are present 4 pairs of spermatheca which lies in the 6th, 7th and 9th segment. They open to outside to the spermathecal pores situated ventrolaterally in the successive grooves separating the above mentioned segments, and they store the sperms received from another earthworm during copulation. So you can easily make out from this diagram in your textbook all the things which are present. Here you have to remember each and every segment and all the things which are present in the reproductive system. Now we come to the fertilization part. Okay, so during fertilization there is a mutual exchange of sperm between the two worms during mating. Okay, they will exchange sperms. Now one worm has to find another worm and they mate in juxtaposing opposite gonadal openings, exchanging packets of sperm called spermatophores. Okay, so you can say that if a particular worm this is the head Okay, if this is the worm, this is the head and this is the tail, so other worm will be lying here in this way, so this will be the tail and this will be the head. Okay, so this is what, this is the juxtaposition. Okay, so they will exchange the packets of sperm which are called spermatophores. Now mature sperms and egg cells and nutritive fluid are deposited in cocoons produced by gland cells of the clitellum. Okay, now these mature sperm and egg cells and nutritive fluid will be deposited in cocoons. Now fertilization and development occur within the cocoons which are deposited in the soil. Okay, after deposition, these cocoons, fertilization will occur in the soil. And development, the ova eggs are fertilized by the sperm cells within the cocoon, which then slips off the worm and is deposited in or on the soil. Okay, the cocoon holds the worm embryos. After about 3 weeks, each cocoon produces 2 to 20 baby worms with an average of 4. Earthworm development is direct, there is no larva formed. Okay, so see here in diagram, here they are exchanging the sperms, then deposition of egg occurs. Okay, then the cocoon is formed. Okay, then this cocoon is released and this fertilization takes place. Now this cocoon will hold the eggs for about 3 weeks and then the worm is emerging from here. So the here you can see mating of the 2 earthworms. So the cocoon, so the worm when comes out, it's not having any larval stage. Okay, they are having, what they are having? They are having the same, they are having the adult form. Okay, so there is no indirect development, there is no metamorphosis. Okay. So here we studied what? We studied about the nervous system, which was very simple. Excretory system, here you have to remember that 3 types of nephridia are present, and their position and the main function of the nephridia. Okay, in nervous system you have to remember about the nerve ring and the nerve cord which is formed. Okay, so this is the nerve ring which is formed, and here this is the nerve cord which is formed, which will help in sensating the whole body. Then comes the reproductive system. In the male reproductive system, we have testes, sac, testes, seminal vesicle, spermiducal funnel, vasa deferentia, prostate and SSA gland. In female reproductive system, we have ovaries, oviduct, spermatheca. Now in fertilization, there will be the mutual exchange of sperms between the 2 earthworm lying in juxtaposition. Okay, in the help of packets of sperm that are spermatophores. Now mature sperm and egg cells and nutritive media will be produced, nutritive media will be given by the clitellum and they will form cocoon. Fertilization development will occur in this cocoon. Okay, now this will be slipping off from the body, okay, in the soil, and after 3 weeks each cocoon will produce 2 to 20 baby worms with an average of 4. Okay, so and there is the larval stage is not there, so the development is direct. So this was all about the earthworm.